Well, like you said, it's sad that it took this to spark change. The change should have happened years ago. But George Floyd, rest in peace, brother.
Well, I think
you'll be remembered forever.
Yeah, this is horrible. I think between him and then what was the guy that was jogging with the
Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah, man, that was another horrible.
Well, let's look up what happened to them after this. So let's get to it. So we've got again myself, my co-host, the Wolverine. This is Surviving the System, and eyewitnesses to George Floyd's death.
Today, they took the stand in the murder trial of the now fired Minneapolis cop, Derek Chauvin. We heard from a mixed martial artist seen here in police body cam video who yelled at officers, "Get off that man." He testified he could hear and see George Floyd gasping for air while
he's obviously a fighter.
Chauvin's knee.
At some point, did you make a 911 call?
That is correct. I did call the police on the police.
Right. And why did you do that?
It's terrible, man.
Because I believe I witnessed a murder.
We heard from a teenager who recorded the now infamous cell phone video of Chauvin
pride.
On Floyd's
That's what
neck
that.
for more than 9
Look at that.
minutes.
Listen, that's what you call pride. Someone telling this man to get up, and it was a black man. He was probably just on him just out of just GP saying, "I ain't getting up on just because you're saying to get up on."
I'm going to say how sick this is to me. I see that man setting on George Floyd's neck, and it reminds me of a hunter that killed a lion and is posing with him like a trophy. It's sickening. These cops treat minorities like animals.
No, you already know back in the day they'd go in there and whoop a Bama and they'd be, "Oh,
yeah, look what we did."
You already know.
Look,
you already know.
I want to say this. I'll go a step further. So you've seen Chauvin or whatever his name is posing on George Floyd. Back in the day, you ever seen the lynching photos?
Oh, of course.
You'll see these pictures of white folks with a black man hanging from a tree, and they're smiling. Yeah. They're posing.
Most of them were police. Most of them were governors, and all within the powers and ranks of government since the beginning of history.
What do you think would have happened if that other guy would have stepped in to try to stop?
Well, now that was my next thing. At some point, I feel like the community. See, me, I'd have had to step in. If I'm a fighter and I see him, look, man, hold up, man. I mean, I would have made another tussle.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna. You got to get up.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me. I'm getting you off. At some point, we have to have people that have that heart and that backbone, no matter what. You do the right thing, because to me in America, the most thing that is the most important is we shouldn't be putting humans in cages, man.
Well,
for victimless crimes.
And we should.
Period.
You're right. And I'm going to say to what Esteban said, we need more citizens. And Hate Toms, much love, brother. We love you too. Hey, listen, we got to step up as citizens when we see somebody's rights being abused. We gotta sacrifice.
Seen in the Chicago video, the guys started swarming around them, being very aggressive and loud.
Yeah, and it broke it up.
Well, it got them at least where they were like, "Hold up, get some backup." The other cops come. What are you doing? What are you arresting for? So when it's going down like that, man, please scream, yell, hands, don't shoot, can't breathe, get off them. Surround these guys and let them know, hey, we're not going to hurt you.
But we're not going to let you murder this
we
person.
can't let you just beat up. We pay you to help us.
That protect the citizens to be able to do that?
So my understanding is there's a law. I know there's a law against where you can resist a false arrest, even if it means taking the officer's life.
Well, in the Constitution, you have the right to no illegal seizure or search. Period.
Yeah.
It's in the Constitution. You have
the right to resist illegal search and seizure.
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, like my wife said in the background, I'm not instructing you to go kill a cop and resist arrest. But what I am telling you is, if you see a cop murdering another citizen, you have a duty, as an American,
do something
to step up. I want to make an example. The concentration camps. I was talking to my wife about this. After they freed the concentration camps,
a great example too.
The people in the city all denied that they had any responsibility in it. So the American troops take the citizens in and said, "Look at these dead bodies. You could have stopped this. You should have did anything you could have to stop this. If you see wrong happening, You need to sacrifice and step up and stop it.
And the saddest part is here in about 10 years when they get rid of a lot of these laws that are putting humans in cages without a victim just because of people's beliefs. They believe they're godly and they're not living right. And if you ain't doing something right, you should go in a cage. But here about 10 years now, you're going to see them same people saying, well, I've been saying that. Yep. I've been saying that. They should be putting people in cages.
So how come, maybe I missed the lesson in school, but I don't think the teachers ever taught me that in school, like, yo, like, if you see something wrong that a cop is doing, you got to call it out.
Well, that's the problem.
Not.
Schools are so busy teaching stuff that we'll never use in life. They don't teach about credit. We'll get into that later.
And apologizing to George Floyd for not doing more and not physically interacting.
And that's how I would feel too,
yeah.
man.
Like you let him down. You let him die.
And that's what good people feel, man.
Death, who were testifying are not being shown on camera because they're so young, including a 9-year-old whose voice quivered as she recalled all that she saw.
Oh.
NBC's Jay Gray, live outside the courthouse in Minneapolis.
And I see some questions I'm going to answer before we go to our next subject.
Yeah, Shep, you're absolutely right. And as you described so well, it was a tense, very difficult day in that courtroom. Some of the most compelling, gripping testimony.
He was found guilty, just ain't been sentenced yet.
No, I think the trial's still going on. But he's going to get
on the scene the day George Floyd died. Genevieve Hansen moved to tears as she described what she saw, telling jurors she was off duty but desperate to help, approaching police, identifying herself as a medic, and offering to check George Floyd's pulse and start chest compressions if necessary. But she says officers just told her to move to the sidewalk with the rest of the crowd.
Wow. She was.
I offered to.
Yeah. She was. This is crazy.
Or told them if he doesn't have
literally an EMS person, firefighter.
And that wasn't done either. I would have been able to provide medical attention to the best of my abilities, and this human was denied that.
Told her to get back to the sidewalk. Wanted to start compressions.
The defense team did push back, saying that with police already there, it stood to reason that medics would be on the way. And
so what?
There's a medic there.
Was distracting or hostile because of the emotions of those who had gathered there.
Well, and then we go back.
Would you describe other people's demeanors as upset or angry?
I don't know if you've seen anybody be killed, but it's upsetting.
Look at it. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
And these people are supposed to help us. You know what I'm saying? Protect us and help us. No different than the COs in prisons. I've watched people choke on food in front of COs, and they just hit the button and wait for someone. Another inmate had to get up and help the dude because he. Listen, man, these people are paid to help and protect us, man. This is not helping protecting the people.
I want to tell y'all something though that I learned the other day. That blew my mind about the George Floyd case. You ain't going to believe this. So, 3 days after this, right? 3 days after they bring this cop in, he knows he's fucked. He knows he fucked up. He's getting ready to get tore up. He agrees to take a 10-year plea bargain. Now, mind you, this is only 3 days after the incident. He hasn't even been charged yet, and he agreed to take a 10-year sentence.
Well, he's seen enough charges. He knows what's going down. He was about to be made an example for all the other millions, well, maybe not millions, but probably hundreds and hundreds of thousands of situations.
He was willing to take that 10, but the attorney general of that state rejected it.
Of course. You know why? Because his ass would have been great.
Yeah, they'd have hung him out too.
They'd have lit him up.
So rest in peace to George Floyd.
Big rest
Much
in peace.
love and respect to those that are fighting against this stuff.
Prayers to his family.
So real quick, let me answer this. Hate Time said I had a question. I've been watching y'all since y'all were in OG Satan's backyard. I want to get down and fight, but I've never fought someone when I wasn't in a street fight, so I'm kind of scared. Let me answer, and then I'll let Corey answer. That's the big difference. You know, people talk about, man, I've street fought, so I know I can do good in the yard. In a street fight, it always happens quick. Most of the time, you don't have time to think. The thing that is so difficult about an organized fight is the time to think. You sit there. You got to think about, oh, I'm getting ready to fight in the days leading up to it. Yeah. Then you go into the yard. You get matched up. You meet your opponent. You can't say, what's up, mother? Let's go. No, you got to say, how you doing, bro? Let's get ready to fuck each other up. Then, you get matched up and you get announced. And it's this big process. And for some people, it's nerve-wracking. But here's the thing. My man, when the punches start going, it'll just go.
Well,
you will get over the nervousness.
And too, the great thing about Street Beefs and what we do at Street Beefs, we really do try to really look out for the fighters, give people that itch that they're looking for, and match them up evenly accordingly so they can, get a decent fight out of it, get some rounds out of it.
Right, and
unfortunately for the viewers, that's why we get a lot of draws, huh?
But no, that's right. What you're saying about draws, listen, I've said this before. If you come into our yard and you do not really separate yourself and show that you deserve a win or show that the other guy deserves a loss, you get a draw.
Right, and good thing is you got to do what you came to do, and that's all love, what we want and respect. And
now, well, my bad.
You good.
So we got two things that we still got to cover. I want to cover a piece of R. Kelly's case.